Hi, I'm Phyllis. My website is southernfrugal.com. I guess y'all guessed from the title, I have got some really bad news. Uh, Hold on. I have put off doing this video because I knew I would cry, but anyway, um, Mr. Bucky passed away Sunday a week ago, and it was on July 7th, on Sunday morning, and he started having trouble a couple of days earlier with what he thought was a stomach virus, and I thought so too. Hush. And so Sunday morning at 6 a.m., his spirit just left his body, and I was sleeping upstairs, and he had been sleeping down here in the recliner, so I could just have the bed to myself since I've had the surgeries. And I had just had another surgery, and I came downstairs, and I thought he was asleep. The dogs were both in here asleep, and he didn't get up. And so I was getting the dog's food ready in the kitchen, and I called him, and he didn't answer. And I came in here, and I knew he had passed on. I could tell. But anyway, he had a natural burial, not as far up in the mountains as we wanted, or that he had wanted, and of course I did too. But he was buried with a shroud. He wanted to be buried like Jesus was buried, and it was if there could possibly be a bright spot in all this tragedy, uh, it was very peaceful and calm. It was really good, and his younger brother Reggie and his son Ernie both put him in the grave, and so that was that. And we had prayer, and he was covered up then, and so I went ahead and, of course, got the plot right beside him where I want to be buried. But anyway, I'm just sorry to have to tell y'all that, and I'm very sorry I haven't posted in a while, but I had surgeries, 2 more of them, and really didn't feel like doing anything. And Mr. Bucky was helping me and everything, and so it was interesting that that night he had written me a letter. It was really kind of a love letter, and thanking me for helping him when he was so sick with that food poisoning. That it was C. difficile toxin B. I guess it's been, I don't know, it might have been 3 years ago now. But he sort of recovered, and he gained the weight back, but it had damaged his kidneys. So, and of course we were going to the heart doctor too, and the heart doctor said that his heart just was weak. And so when he passed away, there was just a peaceful look on his face. There wasn't any kind of struggle. He just looked like he was asleep. And but anyway, he passed away on July 7th, 2019, Sunday morning at 6 a.m. And of course he ended up not going to the hospital. The coroner actually came here along with the EMS people. And so he was just drifted away. I don't know any other way to say it. He just a calm, peaceful thing. And the burial was, it was in the trees, and it was hot, but I didn't really even notice that. And they just put him in the ground. He didn't want no coffin or anything like that. Of course, in a natural burial, you can't have a coffin or one of those cement things they put in the ground. And so he didn't want the pine box either. Now, I wanted the pine box, but then after seeing the way he was buried, I want to be buried the same way, wrapped in a cotton shroud and that little cloth thing over their face. And so they're right in touch with the dirt. So anyway, I think the Jews bury their people that way. But anyway, I wanted to tell y'all about it. I've just gotten to the place where I don't cry all the time. I'm trying not to now, but this has been the hardest thing I have ever endured. It's just, the loneliness is just, you can just almost cut it with a knife. It's so terrible and so obvious that he's not here. We were together from the time he retired at age 70, and we were together 24/7 for 10 years, and we had a really good life together. We just, it was just great. And so anyway, I'm going to try my best to continue. I've used all my tissues and everything, so I'm using a washcloth now. But anyway, I'm going to try to continue with the videos. Now I've got to start chemotherapy next week. I had to have a port put in too. I haven't had that done yet. But anyway, I'm going to try my best to continue with the videos. I do feel called to do them, and helping to teach young people, or some of the young men and women, about cooking, and in the old-fashioned way we used to cook years ago, or most everybody did. But anyway, I wanted to especially thank y'all for all the gifts and all the cards. I really enjoyed reading the cards. Of course, you can't send flowers or anything. I mean, I'm just asking you to not send anything, no flowers or anything. I mean, if you want to send cards, that would be great. I love to read them. But you can't have flowers at the gravesite. And I'm not going to disclose where it is. And the reason is because they don't want people coming in, you know, other than just family. And but it is open, but most people don't know where it is. So anyway, so I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, other than just thank y'all so much. Those cards and the notes and the gifts meant so much to me. Hush, y'all, hush. And of course, the dogs both miss Mr. Bucky. And for the first 3 days, Steely just sat on the arm of the chair and looked out the window waiting for Mr. Bucky to get out of the car, because he thought he was coming back. But he's better now. And of course, little Sonny doesn't know what's going on. He really doesn't. He's just, he just doesn't know. And it turned out that Sonny really bonded with Mr. Bucky. He really did. And he was kind of took the place of Peppy as far as Mr. Bucky. Mr. Bucky called him son a lot. Anyway, I know I look terrible, y'all. I lost all the weight I gained, and more too. I'm as small as I was when I was in high school, and that's been many, many years ago. But anyway, I appreciate all of y'all so much. I'm still getting cards every single day. I have literally gotten hundreds of them, and I thank y'all for all the prayer. And by the way, when God answered the prayer about sleeping, I still sleep now. And I just think it's a miracle, because even after Mr. Bucky passed away, I actually slept that night too. So that some powerful prayers went up by y'all. And I thank you very, very much for that. Anyway, I'm hoping, of course, I've got a lot to do with insurance, and you know, I've got to take over everything now. And Mr. Bucky had left all kinds of lists and telling me exactly what to do. And I don't know when he wrote that out, but I know he wrote the letter that very night, because he stayed up after I went to bed. I could hear him down here walking around. And but he had gotten better. On Saturday, he ate some applesauce and drank ginger ale. He was so much better. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even gone to bed that night. I would have stayed up with him, but he just rallied and thought that, again, we thought it was just a stomach virus. So turned out it was more than that. They called it a myocardial infraction, which can mean anything. The doctor said that, it could have been a heart attack, but he didn't show any, he just looked like he was asleep. It didn't look like he suffered at all or anything to me. And anyway, okay, so I'm going to go now, and thank y'all so much for everything. I really appreciate it. So we'll see y'all hopefully, I don't know, another week or two. Maybe I don't know, be ready to do some more videos. But I am coming back, I promise. All right, bye for now.